Hello, welcome back to another Spincast. Today, I'm CJ Collins. With me, Eric Novak, the treasurer for Virginia Tech, and Chris Taylor, one of the Rocket League players on the team that they have there. I'm so excited to be able to have this conversation with you guys today. If you want to start with a basic background of, hey, this is what I do over at Virginia Tech, and I'll start with you, Eric.
So pretty much, I'm the treasurer for the club we have here. We aren't really working with a lot of funding right now, but we're just trying to, get a background and everything and make sure everything's set up so that we can eventually kind of move into a more, school-oriented and school-backed program and kind of just make our way up from there.
Love it. Awesome. Chris, what about you?
So I'm one of the players on the Rocket League team. I'm on the B team, and I've been playing for about 2 years competitively with Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Super, super exciting. I'll start with you, Chris. If you just want to give me a breakdown, obviously you're on the B team, so there must be several Rocket League teams that you guys have. And I know I've seen the name in the club because you guys have a pretty big club over there. But tell me a little bit about just the program and what it looks like from your perspective.
Well, we actually have a lot of players, and it's not just A and B team. We have a ton of teams. We enter a bunch of different leagues because we have just a lot of people that want to play. And we enter as many leagues as you can, and we'll have 4 or 5 teams, Virginia Tech teams, in one league. We got a lot of people that want to play.
Cool. Awesome. What about you, Eric? Tell me a little bit about, obviously you're on the board and the treasurer, and you probably deal with a little bit of that management stuff of, hey, what is our program going to look like? What little funds do we have, and what can we use those for? So tell me a little bit about your role and really what you're kind of working on over there.
So pretty much my role right now is less of a treasurer, and it's more of just like kind of an administrative assistant kind of thing. So we're trying to get the breakdown in to really push our A and B teams specifically. Like we sponsor a lot of teams through our program, but for some tournaments you can only enter 1 or 2 teams. So it's trying to give those players the best foot that they can have. That's been our main focus through the summer and into the fall. But as things ramp up towards the winter and spring, we're doing recruiting. We're going to try and do some fundraising here and there just to see if we can have some resources to work with and be able to get ahead there. Main thing we're trying to do basically is get in touch with varsity sports and kind of make our way through there. So we have kind of a foothold in rec sports, but we're making our way up from there and hopefully eventually going to become a varsity program.
Awesome. Yeah. And, I think that you guys are really in a staple right now because, you've just said a little bit, but I'm certain your club just has so many willing people that are just want to see esports grow in the collegiate scene. And there's so much support behind that. And then, there's other areas, right? There's intramural esports, and then there's club esports, and there's varsity esports. So tell me a little bit about like the structure that you guys have currently. Is there like intramural leagues that go on, or is it just a club team, or is it, what is that process of gearing towards varsity? If you just want to break those 3 kind of pathways down for me and the viewers.
So as of right now, intramural sports has been kind of doing their own thing recently. And we actually found out earlier this fall that they were doing an intramural Rocket League tournament. And this was like something we weren't necessarily aware of. So we reached out and we were trying to be like, hey, we'd love to, help advise you and help you run this because obviously it's a new program for them. And, but we have a lot of experience, hosting tournaments, being in tournaments, and just kind of making it a very player oriented program basically where you get the most out of it as a player, but from there we're basically just looking to reach out to professors and other things like that to have some sort of faculty advising and make our way more towards eventually our end goal is to sit down with varsity sports and pitch our program and just be like, this is what we'd like to do, we'd love your support.
Cool. Chris, tell me a little bit about the recruiting process. I know you guys do some recruiting, I'm certain, for your Rocket League team. I'm sure there's a tryout process between A and B team and all the other teams that exist. Tell me a little bit about, hey, how do you get people to come into your school and be able to compete on your teams?
So we have a Rocket League Discord, and it doesn't matter what skill level you are, you come in, and we'll set on announcements before the season starts, and we have open house games where we have different lobbies of different people, and we'll have scouts watching the games, taking notes. trying to place people in good matchups with each other to really see the potential of our players. And yeah, we'll do certain like drills, like we'll do 2v3 drills, and then just putting people in certain situations to see how good they are, and honestly track their improvement as well.
Wow, that's awesome. That's the first time I've heard of like a drill like that where, you're doing 2v3 drills really to test those skills of those individual players. That's very, very cool. Obviously, there is a lot that goes into an esports program right here. I'm sure if you want to talk to me a little bit, Eric, about what the advisory board looks like and how many students are on that, how you kind of get onto that program from a leadership perspective.
So as of right now, there are, I believe, 7 to 8 people on like the administration team. Uh, not all of them are in a role of like in a full-on administrative role, like titled role. A lot of them are just kind of like moderators or like people that we felt were influential in the community that would be helpful to be in a position where they could say like, hey, do this, don't do this, like that kind of thing. We also have a few alumni that are among that board, but like obviously being a student-run organization, we can only take their words with a grain of salt. But pretty much I wouldn't say there's really a a specific way to become part of the board. Basically, the main people that are on there were basically the main like visionaries, I would say, for what we were trying to do. Originally, we were part of another esports organization at Virginia Tech called VESPA. It's the Virginia Esports Association, and we didn't really like the there there was a lot of favoritism towards some games, and they have a lot of games on there, but like it was a very League of Legends, CS:GO focused club, and Rocket League was an up and coming esport 2 years ago, and we were trying to make it a better community for our members at the time. And then so officially this past spring we are officially a student organization, and so we were able to run our own things in our own ways and just kind of work on it from there.
Cool. Chris, I would imagine you're very involved with the Rocket League guys over there. And do you think that coming to Virginia Tech and going to school there has been amplified by the fact that there's an esports program and you have all these players that are like-minded around you?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that most Rocket League players are engineers. I meet a lot of engineering Rocket League players. I don't know. I guess it's in the blood, but yeah, I mean, the guys love to play. I mean, we do in-houses, people are always asking to scrim, play games. So these guys want to get better. We're still working on things on the administrative side, but we have people that are dedicated to getting better and learning and playing. Like in our Discord, we have like coaching analysis. You can put your replays in there if you want someone to look at it and say like, oh, like, in this situation, I'm doing something wrong. Like, can someone help me with this? So yeah, I mean, these guys, like, they want to get better, and they honestly, we push each other to get better, because at the end of the day, like, you want to get a good result. Like, the thought of getting a scholarship by playing in Rocket League and doing well is honestly mind-blowing. So we're all here to push each other and get better, and it's honestly great.
Yeah. Eric, talk to me a little bit about LANs and future events that you guys want to run after COVID. I get COVID exists right now, but I'm sure you guys want to do some kind of community event with all of your players on the esports collegiate team right now.
Yeah, certainly. We don't really have like a lot of the resources at Tech, not necessarily funding, but like the space to do so. And it would be a situation where I don't think we would necessarily be the most equipped to host a LAN. Obviously, that is something that we would like to do in the future at some point, but as it stands right now, we don't have a whole lot of resources to do that. But we were originally supposed to take part in a LAN at Shenandoah University, which is up in Winchester, Virginia, and that was supposed to be in early to late April, somewhere around there. I forget exactly when, but obviously COVID changed that. That was going to be super exciting. We had a bunch of people that were, I think, if I remember correctly, Chris was one of them. Like the two of us were super hyped to get up there and just kind of look around and see what it was like to actually like be in that scenario. But Yeah, I mean, that is something that we would love to do. And we try and host events, as often as we can. With COVID making everything virtual, yeah, it honestly made things easier for us. So we could just be like, okay, Saturday nights, we're going to all hop in a call and play, Rumble Drop Shot. And it's just going to be like a fun time for everybody.
Yeah.
So we try and do stuff the way we can
Sure.
with the resources we have.
I think you guys are in a really great area too. I actually went to Liberty University, which is right down the road from y'all, and I played volleyball for them at the time. And this was in 2013, and esports wasn't as big back then. But Liberty, the campus, has done a lot, and I know they're going to plan to run some lands, and JMU's over there too. And so there's lots of opportunities maybe for you guys to pair and do some lands. But I'd be really, really exciting. I'm really excited to see what that looks like. And if you guys need help, I'm happy to connect you to be able to talk to them as well.
Love that.
So I think that the last question I kind of have for you guys is the future of your program and what you think that really looks like. I know you guys are trying to transition to varsity, and that takes a lot of work, and I think that you guys have the right things in place in order to do that. But tell me a little bit about what you think that looks like, what that timeline looks like, and what that road looks like to get there.
So timeline wise, we're not really sure. Pre-COVID, it was like, we're going to sit down and hash things out in the spring, and we're going to, get a foothold in as many places as we can where we are relevant. So whether that be rec sports, intramurals, varsity sports, talking to faculty, that kind of thing. But COVID definitely kind of pushed that away, pushed that timeline back a bit. We have a lot of connections and are working with a lot of other ACC schools.
Cool.
We are part of a league called ACE, which is the Atlantic Coastal Esports League.
Yep.
And so they run Rocket League, CSGO, like the whole 9 yards there. So we were originally one of the pioneers for building up that program. So originally it was called ACCRL, which is, of course, pretty self-explanatory there. But our current vice president was, the main guy running that. And so we were trying to get footholds, not only with tech itself, but with other schools, because we felt that if there was pressure from other schools that to build esports, especially other ACC schools, that we might get a jump ahead from tech, where if Clemson and FSU, who have massive esports programs now, if they were in a position to be able to be like, hey, we want to run a league, we want to run show matches at halftime of football games, like that would be a really cool thing where tech might be like, okay, maybe this is something that we can actually take a look at and actually consider doing. So not all of our progress has been completely organic, I would say, and
Sure.
It's not been a smooth road, but we're getting there eventually.
Yeah, and just to keep your heads up, I think that a lot of schools are going through similar stuff, and I think that you guys are doing the best, especially with that ACE League. I've looked at that multiple times, and I think that's something we're actually covering a little bit over here. So I think that that's a great opportunity within that, and that we'll see more of those kind of leagues pop up that are division, within your, normal NCAA schools in some capacity. So that's super cool. I'm excited for your guys' program. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. Where can we find both of you? Do you want to do your social medias and just the Virginia Tech socials?
I haven't.
Chris,
So,
do you know yours?
Yeah.
I have personals.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't have much. Twitter wise, I think it's Ocade, the letter O, and then Cade, Kade, and then RL at the end. That's my Twitter handle. But otherwise, we don't have a whole lot of social media presence for the club. So that's also something that we need to get a move on. And I think that would be super helpful.
We do have the Discord.
Yeah.
I know within our recruiting league, we have a lot of kids that are actually looking at your program, if not like friends with kids in your program. So like, the kids that are currently in college are talking to high school kids. And we have a lot of kids within our program that are super excited about yours and see it grow. And I think that the industry is just changing so quickly. And, within the next couple of years, whether you get in front of the right administration with the right plan, they can really, help you in different ways. And there's small little things to jump over, but really excited for that. But thanks so much for coming on with me today, guys. I really appreciate it. And
no problem.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
For the future.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, man.